Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. Today with another gift or treat box. This is something I saw on a website recently, and I'm not naming the website or the brand. They were selling a gift box die, and I thought it looked so simple. I can actually recreate that without spending money on another die. So I've just figured it out. I haven't built the final version. As always, I'm diving in. I made changes to my measurements, so I hope this will fit. All it is, it will be a gingerbread house, and it's like an outside bit that encases the inside box. So you need one piece of cardstock that is 5 by 11 and 5/8, which is basically the A4 length. And you need two pieces, I should have written that down there, that are 7 inches by 8.5. I try to be a bit mindful how much cardstock I'm wasting on this, but I like this to be a decent size, so I went for these measurements. So for the roof, by the way, I just leave that here for a second. If you want to take a screenshot, I will give you the measurements as we go along. So I forgot to mention, I'm using some craft cardstock. This is about 220 GSM. You don't need anything too heavy, but you want a little bit of weight because obviously you're building something three-dimensional. So this piece here now, the one that is 5 by 11 and 5/8. You score that at 4 1/8 and at 8 1/4, and then again at 11 3/8. Let me just check that. So that's between 1/4 and 1/2. So we've got a little flap here. So obviously afterwards I will fold all these. They're all mountain folds, and I will burnish the lines as well. But whilst I've got my scoreboard here, I'm also scoring these. So I've got the 8.5 here at the top. This is the 7 inches. So I'm scoring at 5. Just making sure I'm doing this the right way around. Yeah, at 5 and 8. And then I'm flipping this sideways, and I'm scoring this at 4 inches. So, and I'm doing the exact same with the second piece, making sure I'm flipping it this same way around, because I want this to look the same. So don't accidentally flip it that way around with a flap to the bottom. By the way, sometimes craft cardstock has got a smooth and a rougher side, so just realizing that I think mine's okay at the moment. The one looked a bit rougher against the light. So this is, see, I'm doing it wrong already. Also, my paper has actually got some markings, so I better put this at the bottom here. So concentrate. 5 and 8 and 4 inches, which hopefully leaves me the markings, yeah, at the base, so that's okay. So I've got the roof bit here. I've folded and burnished the score lines. I'm now just snipping 2 little wedges here off the flap. Always gives a neater finish. So I suggest, before you assemble this and glue this together, and all you need to do then is put some glue on here and fold this over to create this tent fold, I suggest you decorate this first. So you've got 2 panels here that are 4 inches wide, and these are the roofs. Just make sure you have it facing this way, and this way, so you don't have any decorations upside down. I will do that in a moment. I just wanted to show you how to cut and fold these here. So again, just fold all these and burnish all these score lines. So now we can cut away part of the flaps. So you're cutting on this score line here, basically cutting the score line away. So you cut on the left hand side of the score line, and again give this a little wedge there and a little wedge at the top. And then I'm also cutting away this score line here. So I'm cutting on the right hand side and on the left hand side of it. And I'm just snipping that away there. And I'm doing the same on the other piece. So now we need to put in 2 more score lines on each of these 2 pieces. For that, I'm marking on the top here 1.5 inches, because this is 3 inches wide, so we need to mark the middle. Should use a smaller ruler, so 1.5. You can just use your scoring tool with that and put a mark there, but I find on this cardstock it's really difficult to see, so I'd rather use the pencil. So I've got a silicone mat here. This is just a baking mat that I cut apart. If you've got like a tan mat from the die cutting machine, you just want something soft underneath, or even some packaging would do. And I'm now putting my ruler down now from this marking here to the corner down here. Just placing this down here, and then I'm using my bone folder to mark, put another score line here. And I'm doing the same from that spot to this corner down here. So, and I can take my eraser now, just remove a little bit of that pencil mark. So, and these now become valley folds. So, fold it over like this, burnish it thoroughly, that's important. And the same here, pinch it with your fingers first, and then you can burnish these. So I'm doing the same on the other piece, and then I will glue, quickly do this off camera. I will glue this flap onto this piece here, and then we'll glue this flap onto that piece. I'm just using my Cosmic Shimmer Quick Grab Glue for this. You could just use some tape if you wanted to. So I'm laying this flat, putting it against the score line, making sure these 2 score lines align. And when it's in place, I'm pressing this down. think I'll leave that to dry for just a moment before I basically fold this over and glue this tab on here. Yeah, I can just fold it over flat if I wanted to. Again, I suggest you decorate this before you actually build the box, but all you need to decorate on this is basically this triangle. You don't need to put any decorations on the inside because we've got the outside sleeve. For the decoration of my gingerbread house, I have decided to use these adhesive glitter sheets. I'm going to link to them below. I've repeatedly ordered these. I think they're great. They're non-shed and they come in a pack with black and white. But you don't need to have these. You can just use like your Posca pen. You can use, well, any other pens. You can use rhinestones, whatever rocks your boat really. For the side of my gingerbread house, I've used these dies. They came with the Made to Surprise Paper Craft Society box. I always want to say 3 years ago now. So it was a Christmas themed box, so I've got these dies. So I just went for the tree, the little window there, the door here, and these are some leftover die cuts from this piece here, because I wanted to do the lazy way, which is using a cover die to cover the roof. But I just want to show you a few tips and tricks with this. First of all, if you sometimes struggle cutting through with cover dies, especially when they're delicate like this, what I've just used in my die cutting machine is a few layers of this packaging sheet. This is almost like a dryer sheet or a Swiffer cloth, and I find this gives a little bit of pressure and then it's easier to cut this through. So I just thought I'd show you that. Well, not really show because I want to do it off camera quickly, but then I will show you a few tricks how to get the little pieces out of here. So this is how it comes out of the die cutting machine. So I just peeled this off, and now it's up to you whether you want to really take all these pieces out. But what I did was actually peel this off here, and this I thought was so much easier, which leaves me all the little sort of flowers, or many of the little flowers, because some get stuck in here. Yeah, I will take some time later to poke these all out and to use them. But one thing I just realized when I was doing it, I was poking these things out with my tool here, but I was doing it from the front to the back. And the problem is, I mean, these are fine, and I will stick them on some release paper to keep those. But with the smaller bits, they were just getting stuck to the back. But I just figured out at one point, if I poke them out like this, they fall onto my desk. There's nothing they can stick to. Sometimes it's the easy things we don't think about. So as I said, I'm keeping those flowers. I might even put some more around the window and the door. So I quickly do this off camera, and what I did then was I just found the bit that has got the straight edge. I'm placing this against the top of the roof here, and then I'm just cutting around everywhere else, just cutting it off. I will make sure though it's sort of even, and so that this is sort of a continuous pattern, but that's just for myself. All that's left to do now is to glue the pieces together. Oh, sorry, I just got some glue on there. So, putting glue on some flap here at the bottom. Spreading that out a little bit so it doesn't ooze out. So, just folding this over now and placing this against here. Definitely have got too much glue there. Never mind. I'll let it dry thoroughly and then I know it won't stick to anything else. So making sure it's neat. Got a bit of wriggle room with the Cosmic Shimmer. I'm going to put my thumbs into here to apply some pressure. If you want to, you could use some adhesive tape. So I'm leaving that to dry, and then I just need to close the bottom of this bit here. And it's up to you really. I like the bigger pieces to be on the outside, so I would put these in first. You could cut these down a little bit if you wanted to, but I find they're quite good. Oops, sorry about the noise actually this cardstock's making. I find it quite useful that these can hold the shape before I stick the sides down. So basically aligning these, keeping these in place. I know I've got the rectangular shape proper on the bottom there. And I also like the multiple layers. I mean, you could just cut these down to smaller flaps, but I find because I've got more cardstock here, I've got a heavier base, and I think that's quite nice for a gift box. So folding that over. Sorry about that, my glue is nearly empty, so I need to keep on squeezing it, shaking it so. So once I've got this in place, I'm folding this over and I'm going in with my bone folder to put some pressure onto this, and then this will adhere properly. So, and once both these pieces have dried, I will show you how it's folded and goes into that. And I know for weeks to come I will have all these sticky pieces on my fingers and possibly on my cat's bum as well. So my pieces have dried. I've got a recommendation though, because I got a bit panicky about it not fitting. I suggest you put this box together first and then fit the sleeve around it before you glue it shut, because then you know it definitely fits. I can get this in, it's a tight fit, so I'm basically pinching this at the top. I'm bending this a little bit so I've got enough space for it to go in at the bottom, then pinching the top, and then I can push it in. So it is a tight fit, but I think it's really, really cute. And I'm glad I didn't have to spend money on this die that you can get online, because to be honest, how many of these houses would you make? So if you wanted to make loads of them, it might be worth investing in a die, but if you just make it one or a few, yeah, you can easily make this yourself. I'm thinking about putting some rhinestones all over here, because I've got so many in my stash. I think this would look really nice. But as I said before, it's up to you. The world is your oyster with the decorations there. But I think it's very cute as it is. Yeah, and if you like this one too, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.